Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Ramboprah Radio. So refreshing, so wonderful for you to be joining me on this journey of Urban Assault Radio. What's up, guys? It's your favorite host, Jen T, up in the building. Gonna talk to you guys today about some UFC. Let's jump right into it. But before we do, for those of you who don't like UFC, you know where the fast forward button is. And for those of you who do love UFC, buckle in, sit down tight, it's gonna be a doozy. Alright, UFC on Fox. First of all, man, why are always the free cards better than the pay-per-views? Oh, UFC, what are you doing? You're just proving my point that I shouldn't buy your product. Dang it. UFC Fox 25, UFC on Fox 25 results. Chris Weidman defeating Kevin Gastelum with head and arm choke in the third round. You're just delaying the inevitable, Weidman. You would not hold a candle to Shitsbird Romero or Robert Whittaker. It's just not going to happen, dude. Your cardio is suspect. Kevin Gastelum almost beat you, and Homeboy could barely keep on 185. Man, I'm sure by the time Chris Weidman was hydrated and all grubbed up with food, I'm sure he was probably walking close to 190 in that fight, if not even 205. Sheesh. Man, and barely won. And then is gonna call out Bisping. Yeah, we get it. Bisping's been ducking people. We get it. But dude, honestly, if you're gonna call out somebody, why don't you call out somebody that's gonna be a challenge? Why are you calling out Bisping? I mean, come on. Freaking guy is running around. Why don't you take on a real challenge? I'd like to see you fight Shitsbird Romero. Could you beat that guy, Weidman? Don't think so. But nevertheless, I respect Weidman's effort. He got it done. It was in his hometown in Jersey there. So it was very important that he got the W, or else a lot of people were going to be very upset with him. He did mention in the press conference, which kind of brought him to tears, about how the critics are very tough on him. MMA critics are tough on him, and unfortunately, it's just not tough on Chris. It spills over into friends and family, and it makes it very difficult, especially for other family members of Weidman, to hear negative things. And my solution to that, Chris Weidman, is to boost your cardio, bro. God, you don't want people to say negative things. Well, stop doing the same thing over and over again, man. That's why critics keep saying that, because you keep doing it. And guess what? You can only go to the well so many times, and it doesn't work anymore after that. So I'm curious to see, despite the fact he did beat Kevin Gastelum was just too small for 185, and he knows that. He admits that, and he did mention that he's going to be working at the UFC Institute and cutting down to 170, which is scary, but hopefully he'll get that done. But Weidman is just not going to hold the candle to your top three guys. It's just, I don't see him beating Shitsbird or Whittaker. He potentially could beat Bisping, but I just don't see it happening. So Weidman might want to work on some gym time before he's talking some mess to Bisping. Man, come on, dude. But shout out to Weidman, got the W for the night. My boy Kevin Gastelum did everything right. The only problem is, when the fights go long enough and it's not somebody who's good at wrestling, he still has a puncher's chance. When the fights have a good wrestler in there and he hasn't knocked the guy out by the first or the second round, man, Kevin Gastelum's going to lose big time. I mean, it just goes to show in his stats, if he doesn't finish the fight, he's going to lose. God damn it. Kevin, he says 30 seconds more in the first round that he would have finished Chris Weidman. Well, potentially yes. I say yes because I might be a little bit biased. I do prefer a knockout versus Chris Weidman just lying there on somebody for 15 minutes. But nevertheless, Gastelum knows that in order for him to succeed, he's got to get to the 170 division and do it healthy. None of this janky weight cuts, none of this Twinkie time stuff going on. Got to make weight, got to be at 170 for your frame. I believe that once he's hydrated, he'll be walking close to 180, roughly. But he'll be shredded. He'll be a freaking beast. God, Kevin Gastelum. Don't let this win knock you down. Just get down to 170, get that weight cut, and you'll be in the winner's circle in no time. Darren Elkins versus Dennis Bermudez. Man, what a great fight. Split decision. Could have gone either way. Darren Elkins really grinded out that W, though. And I really thought that Bermudez was giving it his best effort. So kudos to both of them. They just fought their asses off. And I wish Bermudez would have won. Miss Cleo needs to get paid. God damn it. But, yeah, I think potentially this is it for Bermudez. So if he's got one more fight left on his contract, he's got to get a win or he's going to be out of a job. Oh, man. Wow. Another fight, actually, I believe was fight of the night, was Pat Cummins versus Gan Vellante. Right up in the jump of the fight, Gan Vellante just smashes an elbow, I believe, and makes a huge gash in Pat Cummins' head. And for the record, Pat Cummins looks like a Tom Hardy doppelganger. I mean, every time I watched it, I thought I was watching the movie Bronson. I'm like, holy shit, why is Bronson in my TV? Damn it. If you haven't seen Bronson, do me a favor, Netflix, Bronson, thank you, you're welcome. But Pat Cummins grinded out a win there. Miss Cleo, thanks you so much. Some people were a little bit mad at the judging, but let's be real. Let's take emotions out of it. Gan did hardly any striking really after that gash. He was just kind of just playing it safe. If you want to get wins, you definitely don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. So, for all y'all haters saying that Pat should have lost, well, guess what? It's what happens if you're not active. And when I say active, you've got to be throwing punches. You got to be connecting. You can't just be throwing a few things and then clenching for 4.5 minutes. It's just not going to work, man. Got to go back to the drawing board with that. But definitely, the clinch is not going to win you the fight. You got to stay active. Shout out to Pat Cummins. Jimmy Rivera defeats Thomas Almeida, but right away comes out and is calling out Dominic Cruz. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who? Damn it. Jimmy Rivera have several seats. You can't even hold a candle to Dominic Cruz. You're lucky you got some scrub Thomas Almeida who is on the way out. Nowhere close to Dominic Cruz, by the way. So be careful what you wish for. If he wants to entertain that fight and smash you into little itty-bitty pieces, he's going to do it, Jimmy Rivera. So watch the fuck out. The Dominator's going to come and dominate you if you're not careful. Luckily, he's so busy doing commentating, I don't think he has time to fight bums. He's just waiting for the belt. So take that, Jimmy Rivera. Let's see. Alex Oliveira, a.k.a. the Brazilian Cowboy. Flatlines this Ryan dude. Ryan LaFleur in the second round. Man. Absolutely just pummels him. And I mean, just comes straight in with the right hand and it hits him so flush that you literally see just all of the power go out of Ryan's body, and he just falls face first on the mat, and all Cowboy has to do is just step back and watch him fall flat on his face. I mean, what a knockout. Go on Instagram and check out that knockout. I'm sure it's still up there, or YouTube or something. It is fucking awesome. We love knockouts. Ramboprah loves knockouts. Woo! Yeah, let's see. Man, trying to think if anything else important to say. Well, nothing else I've got left to say on that UFC on Fox 25. So let's jumping into UFC 214 this weekend. Finally, the fight we've all been waiting for. The fight to end all fights. Jon Jones is going to beat the brakes off DC. Come on, people. Come on. It's over. It's over, Johnny. Jon Jones, 22-1. The only loss has been a no contest due to the 12-6 elbows that were not even there, but the judges saw that and they're crazy and let Matt Hamill have a win over Jon Jones. Matt Hamill. DC, 19-1. His only loss, coincidence, is Jon Jones. So clearly we've got someone who doesn't deserve the belt. Yes, we know, folks, Jon Jones fucked up. And when you fuck up, you lose things. And so they gave the belt to this jobber, DC, who has just been a complete paper champ. Now, granted, he beat some of the who's who in that division. But let us be clear, he never beat the true champion, which is Jon Jones. All right? So, now that this fight is going to freaking happen on Saturday, please, for the love of God, nobody die in between this podcast and the fights, okay? Nobody get arrested for drugs between now and the fights on Saturday. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. God, I am so sick. I cannot stand DC. God, the fact that he has a belt from the dude that he lost to, it makes no sense, UFC. God, why? And then he fights Rumble. He fights Rumble and knocks out Rumble. But the second time, he just lays on him. The last fight he had was with Anderson Silva before Rumble, and he just lays on the guy. He just lays on people. He's terrible. I cannot stand DC. He's got to go. America, he has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. DC's got to go. Jon Jones, please, for the love of God, Miss Cleo has got all the dollars on you, sir, to destroy DC. You've got to decimate this guy. Beat the brakes off this kid. Man, yes. I'm hoping that I don't have any other plans this weekend because that fight is very important. I do not want to miss that fight. So anybody who has plans with me on Saturday and they're not intending to watch the UFC, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work, friend, because this is the fight we've all been waiting for. Like 3 fucking years in the making. Not missing it. Not missing it or anything. Okay, so if you're pregnant and you're my friend and you're about to go into labor, you hold that baby in. Hold the baby in, okay? If you're on life support and they're getting ready to pull the plug, you keep the plug in until after DC Jon Jones, okay? All right, so that is a special request from your dear host, Jen T, a.k.a. Ramboprah. Nobody's dying until after DC Jones. Nobody's giving birth till after DC Jones, okay? Nobody's going on a beer run or a food run until after, okay? So get everything all situated beforehand so we can all watch this fight together and celebrate in unity of Jon Jones getting his hand raised again and DC going home crying like a baby. Next fight, Tyron Woodley versus Damian Maia. I mean, my God, why is this fight even fucking happening? Damian Maia, gonna turtle up on the mat because he knows if he tries to shoot in on Tyron Woodley, you're talking about collegiate state wrestling here. We're talking about NCAA championship wrestling. Not to mention fucking hands. Manos de pierna. Hands of stone, Tyron Woodley. Damian Maia, do yourself a favor and turtle right up back in the locker room because if you come anywhere near this man, you're going to get knocked the fuck out. If you shoot on this guy, if he's got to clinch with you and slam you down on your fucking face and punch you out. So, sorry, Damian Maia, it's not your time. And I feel like if you don't win this belt, woo-wee, back to the line, back to the end of the line for you. Damian Maia, 25-6, which is a stellar record in the UFC, has the best jiu-jitsu probably in the entire UFC. However, it's fucking boring when you go and you miss a takedown and then you turtle up on the mat to try and like fake people and to coming down to do jiu-jitsu with you. Dude, it's lame. Stand the fuck up like a man and fucking throw hands, dude. And if the hands ain't working, shoot in for a takedown. I respect that. I do not respect the turtle time on the mat. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Tyron Woodley, 17-3. I'm pretty sure he's going to be looking to make a statement as he feels the UFC does not promote him enough. He feels it's some kind of race thing. I don't know. It's crazy talk if you ask me. But Tyron Woodley, gonna smash this kid, all right? So put your money on Woodley if you know what's good for you. Wow. Chris Cyborg versus Tanya Evinger. First of all, nobody knows who the fuck Tanya Evinger is. She is so unknown that the fucking UFC has question marks on the website next to her name. She's the fucking Riddler. Chris Cyborg versus the Riddler on Saturday. Chris Cyborg versus fight nobody cares about because it's not Megan Anderson. Nobody gives a fuck. Sorry. Once again, Cyborg getting another gimme fight. Who was the name of that last girl Cyborg fought? Yeah, you don't know her name. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody? No? Ah, that's what I thought. Can we just get Cyborg to fight with Nunez, Shevchenko, or Holm? Somebody, stop it. Yeah, I know Nunez and Shevchenko are a little bit lower in weight, but that doesn't mean that they can't put on the pounds a little bit. Just a little bit. Have a catchweight fight? Come on, make it exciting. I mean, Chris Cyborg's going to win. Chris Cyborg, all she has to do is show up. If Tanya was smart, Tanya should not show up to Anaheim. Yeah, pretty much. I do not see you winning. I've been watching Cyborg training. Homegirl runs like 15, 20 miles a day. I mean, you're just not going to beat that. Sorry, Tanya Tucker. It's over. It's over, Johnny. And you haven't even put your trunks on yet. It's over. So go ahead and fast forward through that fight. Pretty sure you can bet on Cyborg, but you will probably get absolutely nothing back. Call me when the UFC finds a legitimate opponent for Chris Cyborg. Yeah. Whew. Fight of the night here. Potential fight of the night. Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cerrone. Woo-wee. Man, I just... Don't do this to me, UFC. I don't know who to pick. They're both going to be throwing hands like there is no tomorrow. They're going to have uppercuts from hell. Donald Cerrone, 32-8, a couple losses there, but he can be potentially back on track with a win here on Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler, 27-11, old time UFC, oldie but goodie. Man, we shall see what happens. I would say on paper, Cerrone potentially has more of the strikes with the kicks. He's got the Muay Thai background, but Lawler has got a fucking cinder block for a chin. So we shall see on Saturday what's going to go down. It's going to be so exciting, because that fight could go either way. And the way I do believe it will go is by knockout. Yeah, knockout. Whew. My boy, UK's finest, Jimmy Manuwa versus Volkan Ozdemir. On paper, Ozdemir is the better fighter, but my boy, Jimmy Manuwa, I've been following him. Yo's check it. This is none other than me main man, Jimmy Manuwa. Booyakasha. God, this guy, I've been watching him for a long time fight on super, super tiny, small shows for probably pennies on the dollar. 17-2. Volkan, 14-1. I'm going Manuwa. Manuwa's my boy, and I will not change that. So he might be walking into the lion's den, but damn it, I'm going down in flames with my boy. All right. If you want to go down in flames potentially with me and Jimmy, bet Manuwa. Otherwise, on paper, Ozdemir is the better fighter. Uh, Ooh, another good fight. This whole card is just freaking stacked. Ricardo Lamas versus Jason Knight. Wow, Ricardo Lamas 17-5, Jason Knight 20-2. You know Miss Cleo's gonna pick Jason Knight. And you know why? Because he trains at a very good Muay Thai gym with the late, great Alan, the Talent Belcher. Boom! Man, Jason Knight has not disappointed. 20-2. He has just been putting on a show in the UFC and in the small shows too. So kudos to Jason Knight. I predict he will be getting the W. But Ricardo Lamas is a tough opponent. So please do not take him lightly. If there is an opening, he will snatch your weave, Mr. Knight, like there's no tomorrow. So make sure you stay on your toes and pick your shots and be ready to explode, Jason Knight. Yeah, if you're betting, bet Knight if you know it's good for you. If you know it's good for you. Aljamain Sterling versus Renan Barão. Well, on paper, typically, I'm not really pro-Brazilian. I'll always bet against Brazil because generally they're always favored to win. So Miss Cleo is trying to get paid, trying to get you paid. So you got to bet underdog, okay? Sometimes it pays to bet on the regular one, but most of the time, underdog. A little concerned because I was listening to Fury's fight picks. He's the one who kind of gives me a rough guide as to how I can do my bets. But Aljamain Sterling trains at Sierra Longo, and he mentioned how all of their fighters pretty much fight the same and they don't really improve. I'm now a bit hesitant. I had initially put my bet in for Sterling, but Renan Barão is no slouch at all. So there might be a potential where Miss Cleo might have to go back on her anti-Brazil bet and go Brazil on this one. Renan Barão is a tough cookie. Sterling has really got to show some leaps and bounds as far as improvement to get a W over Barão. So we shall see this coming Saturday. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Ooh. Touchy-Feely versus Caitlin Keller. Touchy-Feely, it's real easy. Trains with Gus. Nothing more to say on that. He's going to be an excellent striker. Now, Caitlin Curran versus Alexander Abiyu. Look, it's one of these girl fights. Caitlin Curran is 4-4. She should technically be unemployed right now. Alexander Abiyu is 6-0. So on paper, the Caitlin Curran looks to be losing. But, and that's a big old donkey booty, Caitlin Curran, if you go to UFC.com, is steamy. So, my bet will be definitely biased as I will be betting all hottie. Bet hottie with the body. Caitlin Curran. Woo, wow. Great success. Yeah, she's got my vote. I don't care if she shows up with one arm and one leg or one leg and no arms. She can get it anytime, anywhere, any place. Yes, sir. And then finally, Josh Berkman versus Drew Dober. Man, I presume Josh Berkman has been around since pretty much I started watching UFC, maybe even a little bit before that. Was just giving his heart and soul into this and has been doing this so long. I just don't want to see him get knocked out anymore. He keeps getting knocked out and it's just like, how many times? When is enough? How many times must you lose to realize that it's over? It's over. But nevertheless, I picked Berkman. I absolutely love this trick, and I so wish that I could borrow it for a date sometime. Josh Berkman is able to lose 15 pounds in 24 hours. Don't ask. But he's able to cut 15 pounds in 24 hours and look shredded at the weigh-ins. The fuck? What? I saw on a TV show, he kind of went into detail how he does it, but he doesn't want to give his secret away because he doesn't want people to get hurt. So kudos to Berkman and grinding hard. Getting the job done. Why did I say that? Kudos to Berkman. He's been fighting a long time, and hopefully he can get a win over Drew Dober. Drew Dober is no slouch at all. He's going to be a young, scrappy pup looking for blood. So Berkman, be on the lookout. be on the lookout. If you're betting on this fight, technically you should bet Dober. He's the younger, fresher fighter, better record. But if you want to take a risk, then you go Bergman. Yeah. Whew. I'm going to stop right there because I've got work in 3 hours. So I will be back for part 2.